what is that? Yes, sir, for my so yes, sir, I trouble, yes, I say. On a side, don't you buy it with you? My get out that you try it forever. Oh, yeah, pay it. I'll be on your player. What that you say? Put that young man, you. I say, oh, by now. Once I did it, I say, oh, my God. You should get there. Oh, this is a special birthday song for that Jawali Jonathan. Well, we say happy birthday to you. Enjoy your new age. The graduate doctor. Not forgetting Shannon Taylor for Chicken Air. You want to remember her late daughter, Little Taylor, Wayne of Taylor. Just well. Not forgetting Brother Tuning, Wele, Patu. Justina So, in Taxi. Mother Teresa, Playing So, in Rhode Island. And yeah, I travel there. Everyone's birthday, everyone looks on. Happy birthday. I say, oh, that you. I say, oh, what's happening now? I say, oh, I do this, wow, that you. And the original soul in Rhode Island. I said, my, and the Helena, poor, Rhode Island. Uncle Tommy Soul in Liberia. And you know, the late Uncle Stanley Soul. Yes, young. Says Angie in Rhode Island. Anita Zian, Minnesota. I put you glow, but you talk about that. Donata, where I give up power, or I see myself. When your person looking, when your person looking, when your person looking, when your person looking, you just say, oh, like no, I be Daniela, not run on the way. And you say, get it. I'm behind the floor. I go. Alfonso Soul, I go. Many times of Mr. Alfonso Soul in the US. And now Alfonso is young soul. They could be upwaking. I thought, say, what's your boy? Young, congratulations to that job. Jawali Jonathan. Well, there's a birthday. My day. I just say, oh, you better more like you. They come run away, never. And where do I give Not forgetting the cousins of the celebrant. Anita Zian in Minnesota. Great Town, Minnesota. Uncle Jerry Shaw, Rhode Island. And some important personality here, right? Not forgetting our late father, Johnny Zian Soul. Rest well, father. My better soul, rest well. My next soul, we are in a double celebration. Congratulations. It is your graduation and your birthday as well. We say happy birthday, congratulations. Our medical director. We want to say many thanks to all of the friends who attended the occasion. Dr. Jawali, extend our thanks and appreciation to you all. We call her Dr. Jawali Jonathan Wele. What's up? In Blabo, my in my work again. And my yo, we are going to test it in the US.
Good evening, good evening.
Celebration.
Our viewers and listeners across the globe, I am Alfonso and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. And this is the Wednesday editions of All Things Considered airing right here on the Diaspora Informative News Magazine. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for sharing with us here. Mr. Going to where door is in the house. Venetius is here. Sekudalit, good to have you. My man Nira is here. And Moses is always JOT, always on time. We say good to be here. Here we are again tonight. Happy midweek Wednesday. Who are taking pay this weekend? My weekend on your. Anybody who blessed me with some kind of Father, I tell that, trust me, man, your credit score will improve. It will go sky high. I know my man Mo going to do it. We say good evening. We also thank you so much for joining us. I am Alfonso Z and so top of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv right here again this evening to have a conversation with you about our country, what you think and what you make of all what is happening in the motherland of Liberia. Someone was talking to today, say, where is the empathy of the, what is he, how old is Joseph Boyka, 78 or 79? Where is the empathy? And that was consequential questions that I found so difficult to answer. But we're seeing it all playing out here. And people will say we shouldn't put politics inside. Come on, we live in the world of politics. It's what regulates us. It's what controls us. So when you have Moses Assembly, who is a security analyst and his like, coming here and say, oh, everything in that politics, the rule of law. When these people begin to really factor in the rule of law was prematurely executed, was killed, was murdered. Then he wants to tell me, oh, you know, and this one do this, that one do this. That's how these politicians, these surrogates, that's how they behave. They are trained, they are specialized people. They are agents. They profess to be in your interest, but they are not. When it comes to the ordinary people that close one of their eyeballs, I turned it away to Alvin Fisk. Who remember the guy that used to call Alvin Fisk? Alvin Fisk used to be one of the newscasters on Lpr-Tv those days. When he set his glasses, Grady Allison Unsetela. I don't know why he wears it. He put it right here and all your eyes also. And then you act like he doesn't see. And that's why you're going to see Moses. You're going to see him wear glasses here again tonight. He is, I'm not sure whether he is taking the tune of the liberal. I don't know. You have the political reverend. Oh, man. I don't know. These guys, I don't know. But we are here. And we're here. We are not going anywhere. We all pray for the longest. You know, this guy, this Nigerian writer, Chani Chibit, he said, turning in the warden jail. When things falls apart, the Falcons could no longer hear the Falcons. And during the early days of the Liberian, you know, the Liberian slogan, in the cause of the people, the struggle continue. If you don't know what you wish for, you know, he who rides the back of the alligator goes into the body of it. You know, I want to hear about Liberian, but they're quite to something. Yesterday, Helen Johnson was this person. Charles said it was this. As soon as the other one, like, we were better those days, or they want to do this. And so that's what happens. We are very tired and satisfied, not contented with what we have. But we're going to have a conversation here. To Rescue 3 is here. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, these are the liberal people. They're always on the watch, and we will not allow them to go. We always going to have them. Kaba, Sister Kaba, good to have you. Siminkula Musu, yeah, I hope I'm calling your name. If not, please forgive me because I don't like to call people name wrongly, like I don't like my name. Caroline Yimpa is in the hall. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. You are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio. Though, I mean, for those of you, this is the first time, we don't say it your way. We don't do too much of entertainment. We say it, but we give you the fair share to have your side of the story. But entertainment is more or less on this network because we have a lot going on and we have to discuss it. This is the rhythm that introduces the program, All Things Considered. Welcome to the show. There you have it. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio. Thank you. Let me bring in my man. What am I doing here? Just bear with me here, quickly here. Let me bring in my man, Moses Simwe, is the security analyst of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let me just bring in Moses here, and I have to fix this thing here. Moses is here from Delaware. You see? You see?
I'm having fit. I'm having fit tonight. Not.
Prevention practitioner. So is that a name you want us to call you now?
That's okay. we were changing as we go on. I'm having fit tonight. I'm not Tommy Reeves. Tommy Reeves is a good journalist.
Yeah, just bear with me. I didn't do myself a good favor here this evening, but somehow, some way, I got to pull it off here. That's because the fault of Clarin. Clarin, every time he comes here, he tries to tell me. I have to make a quick. Moses, just bear with me. By the way,
you take your time. Take your time.
Make a quick change here with my battery, my blue, how you call it, says speaker battery. So I have to pray this evening because something is not right. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'm just trying to see.
Yes, you're audible.
You know, they thing too costly. Every time you gotta be buying these things, then all kinds of stuff here.
Loud and clear.
Then when you come here, then Clary then talk tabata all night here and give all kinds of excuses. But we're here. We're not going nowhere. Okay, good evening, Moses. Good to have you. This is what we do. This is what we love doing. This is what we sign up for. Trocon is in the house. We say good evening. This is the first time. This is LPR. That's Liberia Public Radio, Diaspora Informative News Outlet. Our competition is only quality is better than quantity. It's not the we're not in a whatever contest here. This is the right one here. No, this is not a. This all things considered. Yes, this is the banner that I'm looking for. Lpr-Tv on air. All things considered.
Correct.
Quality versus quantity, and we do believe quality is what we stand for. Correct, Moses?
Absolutely.
I would agree with you on some things, but there are some things that we have in common. But we're not going to sanction your voices. We're going to keep you guys here because letting you to go and not speaking out is not good for our country. It's not healthy for our democracy. And so this is why when we don't even agree with people, we allow them to speak out.
Absolutely.
We allow them to have it. That's what happens in civilized worlds. You create a conference. This is what I call conference. We sit around the table. I could see this to be blue shade. You see it to be black or brown with different colors, but you must have the ability to tell me exactly what it is, and this is what we are here for. Okay, it's good. So I'm still doing a workout story in fact, tomorrow morning, I will be hosting that teacher from Maryland, who was involved. I'm getting more little details, but I want to bring her here. Our understanding now that this is within Harper. That school was established for what we get 2009.
Oh, wow.
It's in district number 9. I got to go back to the information and all of that.
Harper, Maryland County?
In Maryland. It's within, just it's in the place.
In Harper? It must be a walking distance from the city.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked when I got that confirmation today that it's in Harper. I said, in Harper?
Wow.
With the school? Okay, let me bring in Dr. Jones O'Malley, LPRC Education Analyst. I think we need to change this title because every now and then, Better Yella, we're going to build more correctional facility and all somebody called me. Somebody called me for library today. He said that other man, well, they shouldn't make police chief.
They shouldn't be anything.
He said that man shouldn't be police chief because nobody even say a little cop on their head to say their grumpy name. I said, where you call from Liberia? He said, yeah. He said, so I listen to them. I listen to them. Papa, you be more than George. Oh my God.
He said, we'll collect them by 1,000. Lock them up for 4 years before they even go to court.
Oh my goodness, forgive me. He said, why you want to build more? I said, yeah, that will go because some of y'all need to be kept somewhere, so that we can have the peace that we're supposed to have. Guys, sometimes it gets so much. But guys, good evening. Dr. Jones, good to be here. Also, it's good to be here. Today is All Things Considered. We're going to chip in here. I was listening to news.
Yeah.
We're in a troubling war. The one from Zimbabwe. People in Zimbabwe, let's just knew, people in Zimbabwe now, what it looks like is less costly to prepare for funeral, to prepare yourself for funeral, to buy funeral, what they call funeral expense. It could be that what we're trying to be like, insurance here, right? But I mean, they call that funeral. It's less costly. It's like $1 to start preparing yourself when you die, but they can't afford to pay for health insurance when you are alive in Zimbabwe. Can you imagine? I was listening to the news and the guys, they were giving an analysis. I said, what? Well, what a trouble we're in. Guys, good evening. Good to be here. This is All Things Considered. I'm getting more information. I'm not sure who is going to be awake tomorrow. 6 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be hosting our teacher, and we need to go further. I wish Dr. Malley is available, but we hope to. That school is in Harper. It's in Harper City. I thought it was like some kind of village area and thing like that. But we're going to get more details. I intend to get more details, then we're going to reach to the whatever. But this is All Things Considered. So this program is perfectly positioned. Some of the things that we didn't talk about, where you can be able to make your own choice on things that we happen. But it's becoming more serious. The demolitions and all of that is not going away. Politics certainly going to kick into it. And then other people are asking, where is the empathy of the 75? How old is President Bwaka? Mostly, how old are you, Papi?
I'm not sure. I think he's 70-something years old.
Why, you trying to bring his age down? He's not coming for resettlement. What you want to bring his age down for?
Why, he's in the 80s? You think so?
Of course. What are you talking about? So this is where, and we're going to talk about.
I got to find out.
Yeah, some things people are afraid to talk about. We have to.
I got to find out.
We got to talk about it to the fallback of the Unity Party. What if this president is Liberia? The age of Liberia.
81. He's 81. He's
81 years old, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to look.
The question that would be my own talking point. You don't want to talk about it, fine. You don't want to talk about it. Is today's Liberia will be prepared to elect a 86-year-old president in that country for us to be like who? Like the Mugabe, or what his name is, Yoweri Museveni. I don't know who is preparing. Like in the case of Museveni, we are hearing his son, who is a general, more or less, is doing everything now, even though he just got re-elected. So what is happening? And the statement, the tweet by the ruling United Party, Dr. Luto Tape, is the demolition is concerning. In what context is he speaking? What is he smelling ahead of him? Let's get a show going, guys. Good evening, Moses. Let's start with you this evening. By the way, how is your Wednesday going? Is it snowing that way?
No, but we have quite a bit of remaining snow from the last week.
I think
it's solid.
I think it'll be good for more to come down there. Even one will get if you go away.
I know. Y'all got your work cut out for you in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
It has been a while.
There's a reason of this changing this title here. LPR, I like that one, a security crime prevention practitioner.
You like that one better?
I think this is a combination, and it's inclusive on a lot of things here.
Yes, sir.
This is a clear indication that you're going to go explosive here. But if you only be balanced, objective, and start being biased and being protective of certain people, then of course that would be good. Can you guarantee that? Let's turn these cameras off.
I can guarantee that.
Okay, we'll see. One can never leave the right hand behind. Saying it is easy as it is, but implementing is good. My man Anderson, I try to pronounce your first name here. Juloson. Oh my God, these guys so good at making combination compound name, man. They just I would just call you Mr. Anderson.
Everybody changed their name after the coup, right? Different name.
Is here. Helena is in the house. Helena is a die house edition. I don't know what she ought to do in other party besides CDC. Okay, so Moses, let's hear you. What is on your plate this evening? What is so much important, or you pouring out there in the news space that we have not touched? And I know you like your area of your expertise, which is good, but what is going on? This demolition, is that a security issue as well?
It has security. It has security implications. It definitely does have security implications, and I think that's something that we need to look at more detail of and look at how they execute in the law, so as to not take advantage of people. And we talked about it briefly. But what's been on my mind over the past couple of days is that I'm sure you saw it, where a police officer who had been in the force for years got terminated because he apparently stole $100 from the desk of the bank manager.
What do you call water traffic?
And that's what it is.
That's just why you get
water draft fish, eat fish, and that's why I want to speak on tonight.
Wait, I didn't see that. You sharing the group?
Yes. It was on it was on Facebook, and the IG post the picture was posted, and they did some investigation, and it said that this guy and they terminated him for $100. But we don't do critical thinking enough to understand. I don't want to get into detail of what my presentation is going to be. That's the topic I wanted to bring.
Just give that news headline, and so we can glue our listeners to see what you're going to say here.
Yes, sir.
We're going to see where it's here. So let's go to Dr. Malley, Jones Malley. I think people are going to campaign, canvas, protest with the UPD director.
No, I don't think so. They're going to be waiting for you the next time you go to Liberia. Right at the airport. Now the man who want to open
he made me laugh today. He said, I said, but anyway, that's it. All right, Dr. Malley. I mean, people always, that's what people like. People don't
lock people up for 10 years before you take them to trial.
Yeah. That's not happening. So, Dr. Malley, I mean, people always something else breakdowns always kind of like taking place. We don't know what we expect for the coming day, the next day, day after, and all of that, because every day has its own drama, either from the politics or whatever. way and all of that. But this is all things considered. What are you considering?
Well, I was doing some research on this work permit in Liberia.
Work permit.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was looking at the merit. I was looking at the merit and the demerit and the current circumstances where you have thousands and thousands of unemployed youth, yet we're giving work permit in a huge quantity
to foreigners.
Now, then I've been wondering what is going on. You see, so my research took me further to find out whether the people they employing, are there no qualified people in Liberia for those jobs? And we'll go into the details.
Very good. I like that.
So, questionnaire or interviewers, I'm going to be asking, what are you trying to build your case on your house cleaning in the next generation? Because people are in that country. The country is overcrowded from its own citizens. We have other people coming in already occupying space. People who are not supposed to be selling in shops, they are selling. And the same people that are being issued permits, not allowing some 100 Liberians, actual Liberians to work. But we're going to get to those details here. But let's start with Moses here. Moses, let's unleash your side, and we're going to scramble. We're going to talk about it. And then we shift gear to Dr. Malik. And of course, I'm going to throw my own, who knows, Helena, to my man Victor, and the rest of the crew online. If you have any issue too with monitoring here, just if there's anything you want us to talk about, too, we can squeeze in, just put it there. That's something concerning you. You are very important. You guys are very important figure in our conversation. It is because of you guys we are here. Because so there are some things that we're supposed to be talking. We're not talking them. Minanda is on purpose, but maybe our attention is not being drawn there. So if something vital, we will appreciate you can share with us. Even if we don't talk it here, we can take it in our chat rooms and give it a conversation. And whoever wants to participate in this national conversation, let us know. We're going to send the link. You don't have to be minister. You don't have to be a senator. That's the good thing about this network. We talk to anybody as long as they are willing to talk. So Moses, let's hear you. How you got to this point with that topic?
Okay, now what I saw on Facebook, and you see, Facebook has become the major media center as far as Liberia, and I don't think it's being used wisely, because that's a social media page. However, we get our information from there. So let me go right into what I'm talking about. As a crime prevention person and a criminal justice major person, I think I understand over the years of training and working in my professional career to understand that policing is a career institution. It's not an everyday job where you hire and fire. People go to academy for 6 weeks. They are trained particularly on how to protect citizens and properties, how to work with the citizens, because police work is never completed without the community participation or the citizen participation. Mm-hmm. And what I mean to say is that when police come to a scene of an incident, they're looking for witnesses. They're looking for people, eyewitnesses, to make a case. In collecting your data and all that stuff is important, but you cannot pursue a case without the civilian or the community or the citizens who were there, because your eyes are not everywhere. And understanding that we have 5 million the population, and we only have maybe about 500 police officer, is totally stretched thin to be everywhere. However, here's my issue with the firing of this officer. The police department has within itself an internal investigation team. As an institution that is career-minded, not everything has to have the same reaction. Now, this officer apparently participated in the theft and he said he was going there to do business action. And the lady left the desk, the manager left the desk, and there was $100 there. And he grabbed the $100, and he admitted to it. Admittance means guilty. We understand that. Not to the fullest, but we need to do some critical thinking. Over the past 25 years in a developing country, they have changed their attitude of policing in ways to be creative and innovative. If you find out, most police departments now are headed by criminal justice practitioners. That means people who went to school, studied criminal justice at all levels. Not the actual police officer who's been on the duty and working as a police officer, because he's a technical person. He's the technocrat. He's the operational person who go on the street and to make sure law and order is carried out. Not someone, and someone from that area does not become police officer because does not become the head of the police department, because the head of the police department is an administrative position. You have to make decisions to really bring about the integrity of the police. But the action taken to terminate that man, I think, shows the lack of integrity, the lack of performance evaluation, the lack of respect for law and order, and it depicts also that we don't have a standard being set for the officer. You have an internal investigation that, and you got a lot of ways to suspend, put them on punishment. The crime has to fit the judgment. And it was too severe for them to terminate this guy. Now, the reason why I say that is because police officers are paid $125 a month for going on the street. You got police officer approaching me when I was driving, asking for my financial license. And the response, I'm financially unlicensed today. And they will walk away. And someone tells me, oh, at least he asked for something. No, it's wrong. And so that's what we're trying to say, that the police need to be trained. Police training never ceases. And so I am thinking that the termination of this man was not fair, because that's his career. He's not going to get another job now that he's fired. This was a career job for him. He got trained, and his lack of consideration of taking that money only depicts the care that the police department is giving to their workers.
Okay, let's welcome our own Lpr-Tv analyst based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mr. Terry Collins is in the house. A serious loss in force or crime prevention practitioner says somebody stole, no investigation because of his career, while he's sacking, blah, 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 blah. Trying to fix something here. Maybe there are other things that we don't know. Terry, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening to everybody. Dr. Mali, Mr. Sidby, and to you, the examiner.
Good to be here. I know you just came in. Just get yourself situated yet. I'm going to go to Dr. Mali, and then I'm going to come to you and tell us what you have in your agenda. But you have Mosewe Tabata, policeman, the guy who wear the navy blue with a badge, who went for training, who have been trained, who are there to also get criminals arrested. This time around, we don't know what happened. He put his hand where he's not supposed to put it. He said that his career, so why they put him down, his career being destroyed. So I don't know. Somebody kind of restructure the crime scene some kind of way somewhere here. Dr. Mali.
Yeah.
You listen to our colleague who is LPR security and crime prevention practitioner. His sole purpose is to make sure laws and orders are respected. No crime. The crime is crime. No small crime, no big crime. When you commit a crime, it's a crime. But we are trying to put the layer, or we are trying to create accommodation of people because of the title. Now, that were these guys who are politicians and they want to tie it with the profession. That's how dangerous they are in society. You know, it is this guy here that we're supposed to give them second, third, fourth chances in life because it is their career. Yes, it's difficult to build your career. You went to training. That discipline should be there. They tell you the consequences if you don't hear. You know, military, the court martial people. But here we are. Sympathy kicks in here this evening. You may take $100. Yeah, $100 is small. But it's not for him. He shouldn't have done that. Maybe there will be another way to get it here. I don't know all of the details here. But hear what you hear from Moses. What say you?
Yes, I don't know. Let me just give you a little history about something that happened 4 years ago to me. Men of God, welcome. 4 years ago, I was working for a public relation firm, and I was running late. And so I decided to clock out in the middle on the highway. And the machine registered it at the place and time I clock out. Little did I know. So when I got to the office, the HR wanted to have a discussion with me. I said, when that was after being in the office for almost 3 hours now. I have forgotten. I said, did you clock out? I said, oh, yes. I said, but our system shows that you clock out so many miles from here. So what? And so I decided to put out a case, and the people showed me the evidence. You know, they brought a video and all the kind of thing. So what I'm driving out here is
you think like you lover?
That's what I thought.
You know, people y'all let it highway.
So
welcome to the show. I don't know why I don't see you, but I good to have you here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so this brings to mind what type of country we want to run. We are between law enforcement and empathy. And I believe it's the empathy that brought Liberia to this level today is not developed. So we'll have to decide as a people, where do we want to stay? That one. Two, the security officer has disappointed me tonight. Because I'm sure he strongly believes in what I call ethics, work ethics.
Oh, God.
Work ethics, and it's stealing is one of the fundamental issues that work ethic don't swallow or even support. Stealing. It has nothing to do with your salary. It gets something to do with habit. That man has got stealing habit in him. Yes, it gets something. There are some people, they can get all the money in the world. If they don't steal somebody something, they are not happy. So it gets something to do with habit. It gets nothing to do with salary. That man has been stealing for a long time. It was just unfortunate that he was caught. Okay? So my only concern here, I hope the administrative processes that are on the book were legitimately applied to his case. That's my only concern. That is, yeah, he was caught. The evidence was there. He was investigated. It was the first time we gave him warning, or the second time we suspend him. These are the things that are on the book. And the last time we fire him. These are the things that are on the book. And besides that, CEO, there are certain arms of government. You don't allow certain things to creep in.
No, 100%.
The police department is one of those arms of government that must live up to ethical practice. Not all over, but it's one of those areas that you got to be transparent. You got to be very ethical. Stealing, this country here, Sorry to say, one of our, I don't want to call that group name, but there's a lady here now pending to be deported. She's been in this country for 11 years for shoplifting. Eyes are hanging on that thing to send a woman back. And shoplifting, that's stealing. It's a professional stealing. You are caught by camera. You see, now she's standing by, they're fighting her on her case. So that one error is not good. The police, you can't be there, you stealing, you doing all kind of babati thing on her hair, changing people check, stealing people, lying. Ethically, it's not right. You see, so my concern here is I just hope the administrative benchmark, was applied in his case. That's my only concern there.
But in the meanwhile,
and if they were applied, he got to go. We can keep those people in the system.
No. Did I hear you, Dr. Malik? Did I hear you say you are disappointed in the security analyst tonight?
His conclusion tells me that he has compromised ethics.
You didn't listen to my conclusion.
Oh, hold on. No, you have your day in court. Okay.
Yeah, you were busy doing something else.
Dr. Malik?
Yeah.
This is why they don't like to see you and myself on the
you believe it that even our strong man, Dr. Toto, disagreeing with the stand I'm taking?
But the other thing, people, those are the things.
Toto understand what I'm coming
what
from.
What do you expect to hear from Dr.
My brother and friend, Dr. Toto, is not in my camp.
Yes, okay. He would not be.
Let's hear the biblical version that when the Bible says when they slap your right ear, you should give your left ear and they slap it. You damaging my canal already. I'm gonna show the other ones. What extent you want to damage me? This is how they behave. They allow things to go off hand, and then at the end, they want to be the enforcers when you can't, and that can't happen. And that's what we're seeing. And that's what Dr. George Toto, they are the rejected progressive that help to spoil that country.
Oh my God.
In Pittsburgh, he went to Toto the other day, had a great time. All he was wearing was Ray-Bans, and were just chilling. Or he need to go do a presentation. The guy who's I don't get it. He said you are not going, and he didn't. But they come here. They want to be the one to be restructuring the crime scene on this network. We will not allow them. These are agents of the liberal progressive, and we will not allow them to survive here and have their. Let's go to Terry Collins from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Terry, you have been designated as the shift commander to investigate this police officer. Let's hear you. Will you pray for him first before you start investigation?
Obviously.
For God to forgive him?
All things considered.
We're not hearing you. We won't hear you. We're not hearing you. Open your microphone.
I say you already know. You already know what's going to happen.
You will pray for him.
The man need prayers. The man need to pray for his habit, like Dr. Mali said, to be reduced from stealing, before you take the necessary action. You got to console him. You got to counsel him. Even though you're going to take some harsh and drastic action on him, you also got to counsel him and make him to understand that he can be forgiven, but there are consequences to his sin and to his action. So,
what are those consequences? Hey, Fatu,
to be reprimanded according to the law.
Welcome. What?
To be reprimanded according to the law. If the man is
found
to the
guilty, policies.
Yeah, if the man is found guilty of the alleged crime thereof, there are laws that determine the sentence of the crime he committed. that would be adjudicated in the court of law.
Let's look at his status and from basic ethical values, who he is, the institution he works for. One of the primary reasons is from people not to be taking people thing in a kind of way. Thing not for you. If you don't have it, ask for it. Not a buffet ground hole it.
Mr. So even the great analysis of America, you have police officers that are bad, that are involved in crimes, and they are reprimanded by the police investigative arm. They take action on them. It is all over the world. You can say because he stole as a police officer so that Joseph Boga responsible. No. Or that the institution responsible. No. It's an individual thing. No, because I know at the end of the day, maybe one of these guys will call and say, oh, that Joseph Boga police, because I had Labua looking. Everything is
oh, you
so
but I know where you're going. I know where we end. You know?
Okay. I mean, I don't have all of the details. Mostly, hopefully we're gonna give him a chance.
But
let's come in. Let me just tell you quickly. Let's look at the surface here. The presentation, they are what's gonna be going out. How long? I don't know. He said how long he have been in the force.
I'm not sure. None of those things were made explicitly clear.
If you want to speak to that, I mean,
please.
Terry, quickly make a point. I mean, we all are human beings. No one is 100% by perfection. We heard, but I don't know what he admitted of doing it. Whether that was his first time doing it, what led him to do what he did this time around, or it's just some sort of habit. One day and 1,000 days for whatever, one day for master, whatever that was the case. We don't know all of these details, but it's just odd. It's very bad. So how you going to do it, Terry, quickly here?
Mr. So, it's just clear as daylight. How much do the man get as a salary? The salary he gets does not commensurate with his daily needs. It's just that simple.
Who is paying him that salary?
It's the government now. You see, that why I don't want to go all the way, because you will hold a Robia until we go beyond all the way to Toaston, where labor is. And I don't prepare to go there tonight. The man salary, the police officers, the salaries, Mr. So $150 after you take out taxes, maybe you count to 125, 130. That is not money sufficient enough to take care of that man. So obviously, most of those police officers, they got susu card. Every day they got to put in a susu. So, and everybody gashing everybody trying to get something to survive. That is the country. It's a doggy country. Everybody on some kind of thing. So, to me, even though people blaming a man habit, that it's a habit thing, but tell me in the country who is not get some kind of hustle they're doing that not correct. In the whole country, who not get something they're doing? Because what the revenue generation in the country, people's salaries does not commensurate with their daily needs. You ask that man now how many children you get, when he finish explaining to you how much he pay away every day to come to the police station or to his police assigned location, how much he pay every day. If you ask him plus his food he eat for the whole month, if you ask him, he will tell you, say, you will, when you calculate, you will find out that the man pay more than he receive as the salary. So he's pressurized to do some things that he's not supposed to do. So that is why I would not want, he bring the plane again. Oh God. But
the plane, one for the police man to take him out of the country. We're not that man. I didn't. He got to face the law, so you can't pay plane to take the police man out of the country. Wow, you guys,
I just leave my own red there, so I think that.
I'm gonna go to Dr. Mali. See where we are going as a people, as a nation. This kind of justification, these people going at the same time, they want good things to happen. talking about salary, get a children, born children, tie it. If you can't to do it, tie it. So that one there is just.
But CEO, yeah, let me just speak to one point the men of God raised.
No, why are you speaking to one point? You gotta wait now, boss man, because you have to take.
I call his attention on something because you, from what I see here, who you came down. From what I see here, you
put me down.
From what I see, from what I see, you and Terry ancient text messages or your coordinator.
No, my hands are up.
Okay, whatever it is, let me liberal communicating with you. But let Mali make a point, then I come to you, Moses. Since you not bring the pain, I don't know where the pain
it was good. It was good. The men of God brought something very sensitive that maybe I can throw a little light on. The man of God is saying the salary not commensurating with so many things, other things in Liberia. I agree with you, one hand, but I disagree with you on the other hand. You will have to cut your coat according to your size in Liberia. People are making 150 in Liberia. They want to live 1,500 lifestyle. You can't do that. Even in this country, among with the diaspora, some are not making enough money. But the life we live in, the lifestyle alone. When more end, we'll put all the money that will go credit again to put it there. We can't. You got to be a responsible parent, a responsible worker. If you're working for $125 as a policeman, you cut down on childbearing in the first place because it will not help you. Your dress code, you got to cut down your dress code. And you used to buy shoe every month, you have to cut it down.
Wow.
And you used to eat expensive food that don't commensurate with your salary, you reduce it from 3 meal to 2 meal. You got to cut your coat according to your size. But the problem I see in Liberia and even among some of our diaspora brothers and sisters is that we are living above our income. And anytime you live that kind of life, you are always in trouble. You always looking for a place to find money. You always want to rob somebody. This is the problem I see in Liberia there. So I introduce disagreement here. We got to live that, for instance, I'm in Rhode Island. All right. My family size is small. We have to get a little house or a room that will commensurate with the salary in conjunction with the food and social welfare and other things.
So you rent a room?
I can't go and get a whole house with 3 rooms and they maybe the fees for the rented for that house is, let's say, 2,000, 3,000. My paycheck, my wife paycheck combined every 2 weeks, 1,500 or 2,000. How do we take care of the 2 kids or the 3 kids? Grocery, how do we move around? Car note, then we start suffering, then we start begging. All right. So this is one discipline we need to infuse in the system in Liberia. People are living above their income. And that's terrible. That's disastrous. You can't do that.
Wow.
That's one of the things that increasing corruption in our country.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you, CEO.
Yeah, they don't like us. We understand. They will do wow, oh, they can say any kind of way they can say, but we're not going that way.
You know why I said that? I know the men of God will take me on this. In some of the churches, there's a church in Liberia I visited.
Oh my God.
The pastor, he's the most stressed pastor. So every time he calling for money, 2 people who taking over the account, they resign already. And one of them is my friend. I said, what's the problem? He said, look, we're giving our pastor small thing for pocketing every month, this and that. But the pastor, the request he bring in a 3 times more than his salary. You cannot be draining down in your institution because of your lifestyle. That is pure wrong. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Let's hear our man. Oh, you changed title again? Because he wants to do away with the crime the guy committed. Now he turned to analyst. This is why you people can do to confuse it. We will checkmate you guys. Wow.
No, my computer is giving me a problem. So I went back on the phone and I didn't change that on the phone.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, but you see, CEO, even
no.
Dr.
Mali, stop.
We even in the panelists on the platform here.
Stop filibustering this thing.
No. Even with the panelists on the platform here, we keep changing our nomenclature, our title, with all the approval of the CEO. That's unethical approach. We can't be doing that.
That the liberal children, that the liberal ally, then they want to form majority black, but it's not going to work here. Let's hear you.
Okay. Let me just say this. The first thing is that Dr. Mali was he was distracted when I was doing my presentation because he kept fidgeting and looking and doing other things. So he didn't hear completely what I said. I'm not empathizing with the guy who stole the $100. I'm saying the process and the preparedness for a career institutional is what I have a problem with. The officer should have known better. He should have been reminded. They have, and I made reference to internal investigation unit within the department that's supposed to do the internal investigation, come up, and then make the recommendation. I was privileged 2 years ago to sit with the IG himself when he was just appointed. One of the complaints his most attention was that the police officers were untrained and that the salary was not compatible with the work that they needed to do. And that was one of his priorities to do that. Ever since then, the salary has remained the same. He even complained about if the policemen get that salary and they're taking out retirement, which some of the police officers would never get, it even reduces what they take home. But this police officer has to buy his uniform, has to buy his shoes, and has to transport himself to and from work with $115 a month. Within a month, just transportation from Ghana's Bay to Monrovia every day to work would deplete the $115 for the month. He has a family. So all of these things are taken into consideration. I'm not sympathizing with the guy who committed the crime. I'm only saying the lack of integrity. If you teach the man about integrity and you do performance evaluation accordingly in SAC eval, you would know who is who and you would know who to take out of the police station before follow. But we are not providing any of these things. You got other officers who were involved and implicated in drug raids. We heard nothing about them. This guy is $100. That's where I'm coming from. That guy should be suspended, put in a place, and you use that as a training opportunity, lesson learned for all the other police officers. But when you join the police as a career, anybody can go and research that. It becomes your career as a police officer. And you got no other career because you concentrated on that and
What
supposed to provide you with the resources.
I have to intrude in this tabata you on here.
Well, I'm telling you, policing is a career.
I know.
It's not a job where you can go and fire somebody anytime.
Do people understand their career as well?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I said. It's lacking. In Liberia, I don't know what they're doing because
let me ask you here. Let me ask you here. Who was the RG you had this conversation dialogue with?
Gregory Coleman.
The Gregory Coleman that we have today?
Yes.
Do you see how he dressed today? The more No, hold on.
He dressed very well.
Hold on. We're supposed to freak out instead of you freaking out. It's the Gregory Coleman, right?
Yes.
Does he understand what it means, a police officer? I was 2 years ago, I was in Liberia. I think I told this story here before. This police, he's an older guy, and being the first, I believe, from all the way before even Doe came. Because it was an older person, Doe Town or something like that.
Okay.
Countless number of years. And when I gave him right, some of the things that he was talking, and I look at him from the conversation, I said, everybody is the one that see you driving your Jeep, whether you order the thing. I said, no, Jeep. He said, no, I don't think you are from here. And he was telling me a story how you were even going to get this money, how they cut their money.
Exactly.
And in fact, they never had them. In fact, they showing what they were paying, but the country is just some kind of way. But anyway, the reason I'm asking them here, this is the hypocrisy of our people, lack of leadership, their unfairness. They have 10 faces, and the thing they are doing it. See the SUV, he is riding. How many police officers in his escort? When he dressed, you see his uniform, but you have those police officer, people who stands in the street all day. You have gone there, you have seen that. Some of them just have only one suit, and they pay those people $100 or whatever it is. Okay, I mean, it's wrong. It's not just, but it's not the justifications of he to do what he did at the same time.
Mr. Saw, that's precisely what I'm talking. Now you're agreeing with me. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about empathizing with the man who committed the crime. That's what I'm talking about. Look at his surroundings. And like I said, 2 years ago, right here in Maryland, when Gregory Coleman came, we had a conversation with him. Some law enforcement practitioner as well, state police and all of that, librarians working in this security areas. Okay, we had a conversation. These were the things that he laid out that were problems for him, that he was going to go in and address it. Some of us volunteered to help. If they needed us to go do training, we would do it at our own will. And we're prepared to do that. But if you don't train the people and you look at that poor guy and you make him an example.
Okay.
An example. That's my issue.
Who you think
about the crime? The crime he committed, there should be penalty for that crime. But you don't.
So quickly, who you think is the chief architect that led him to do what he did? Who gave him that cause?
Well, who gave who the cause?
The guy who committed the crime. Who created that sort of scenario situation for him to do it? I mean, I'm not saying the conditions, the circumstances surrounding it. Who caused that?
I think it's the leadership. It's the leadership. Lack of integrity, accountability, performance review, evaluation. Those are things that bring about competency, more training. And you use these things as an example when you go to training. Every time these things happen within your department, if a police officer did something wrong, you use that as a training resource for other police officers. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the man being just terminated. I'm looking at the condition that created this. That was created.
Who created the condition?
The leadership.
What kind of leadership? When you say leadership, there are so many leadership.
Listen, we're in post-war era, and I always say these things. Many of these officers were not trained who came from the post-war because they stood with the rebel faction. They took them, Chancellor first put them there. When Ellen came, Ellen had security apparatus that were taking care of her and taking care of her. So the police was less. They brought people to train them. I don't know when the last time those police officers that graduated in 2006 got another training.
Moses.
Yes.
If you go Delaware and you went to, how do you call it, what the other place? What the other city in Delaware? How do you call it?
I left, say for instance, I'm in Dover and I went to Newcastle.
Okay. When you return to Newcastle, you come back to us at the LPR. I'm asking you, when you say leadership, which leadership are you talking about?
What do you mean, which leadership? The leadership of the police department. They have not advocated enough for their department.
Okay.
That's
all right.
what I'm talking about. They have not advocated enough.
So meaning Gregory Commons is partly responsible for
He's
what
wholeheartedly responsible. That's why I said 25 years ago, they took people with degrees in criminal justice and made them director of police department, because that's the administrative part that needs to be put in. You need to write policy. You need to advocate for your department. And as a police officer who trained to be on the street, you don't know how to do that.
Okay, this is a tweet coming from your guy, your ally, but this ally is breaking rank with you this evening. Dr. Joy Toto, the security analyst, for what on this one?
Yeah, Dr. What are you talking about? You have not worked with police with police and crime, so you won't understand that.
All right, okay, we gotta go because we gotta get on time here.
Yeah, let's go to the other topic. I don't know why my computer.
Yeah, a complete submission.
Toto, you must call me so I can tell you smart.
That plane where you bring her to another police, man, I get it. We're not taking. We're not going to evacuate anybody.
What happened to my computer? Just keep.
No repatriation here tonight. Nobody going to be repatriated to go to Guinea or Africa to go get any kind of asylum. Okay, look, Dr. Jones. Let's come to you. Most of the topic was the first, right? Let's come to your topic.
Yeah.
You were talking about. Bring me to the baseline.
Yes, I was doing some research today, and yes, and I tried to put Liberia into perspective with reference to job, especially the 70,000 job that was created, short and long-term job that was created, bringing a whole lot of problem in Liberia, and we are still waiting for investor to come to employ, and half of the people that really need to be working in our country, the youth population is rising up. Now we have about 2.88% unemployment in Liberia currently since 2023. So my question now is, we have the job permit, which of course is the 2023 Decent Work Act of 2015. It was enforced. Now you have the requirement for 1 year, a fees for $1,000 and another fees for $3,000, job ranging from contract to other things. And in 2023, expatriates, about 4,795 of them were employed in our country, just paying 1,000 and 3,000 as a fees. My question now here is, are we being wise? Did we go out there to really check for Liberians who are qualified to do this job and we could not find them? Or these jobs, because you don't really.
Let me just move you here while you're facing your stuff, okay?
I'll
be monitoring.
So my point now is, my argument here now is, if we are providing this job, now fraud is getting into the system, the job permit system, and people selling job permit, duplicating other things and what have you, right? So why is it that we're giving job or when most of our people are unemployed in that country, especially something like contract, all right? Have we gone to really find out to get a first-hand information to give our people the leverage to see if we can find qualified Liberians, then we open it up to foreigner? This is a question from my own assessment today from the research. It really bothered me. And I noticed since post-war, two things are creating problems in the system. I don't know whether we're trying to borrow from the West or we're trying to, but they tend to, it tend to be incompatible to how I think we should be running our system just from war, you see. So one of them is the tenure thing. Do we really need it? Secondly, is the job permit thing. Can we pause on these things? We would have provided 4,795 jobs for Liberians, you see, especially the contractor era. So the question now is, this is a country that we are struggling with unemployment. Why should a job permit continue to be so active. I think it's about time we abolish it and really canvas for qualified Liberians to get involved in some of these jobs. Because if I'm paying 3,000 for a job permit, I'm getting double, okay, far more than that fees. You see, so can we at this time set up and review the job permitting and see whether they are qualified Liberian first before moving to foreigners? That's my question. It's about time that we place moratorium on this thing. If possible, cancel it, except where we need scientists. You see, we don't need scientists in that place. We're not being bombed. We don't need scientists right now. Right? We're not going on the moon. We're not working around atomic bomb to generate energy for Liberia. No, we don't have these people right now. We have not even feed ourselves. So we need to cut this thing down. Let a job go to Liberia, because I'm very sure there are qualified Liberians in our country that's supposed to be getting this thing. So that western part of our society we try to borrow is incompatible. It's adding to the problem. And the next part, the issue of the tenure. These are all Western concept things. I don't even know whether we need them. You see, if we need them just to please the West, we need to review some of these things so that we cut our code administratively according to our various sizes in our country. So there's time for the aliens to get off our job, and we find qualified Liberians to do our job. And if the minister will be there to be doing honor hand thing, and we have the evidence, he will have to go to court, and he found guilty, he got to be thrown behind bar.
Okay, let's go to Terry. Let's hear you. Basically, I think this is in line with what the doctor has been saying here. We need some radical approach, not in the form of creating chaos, but some high line where we can make some strong changes in our country, in our society, how the system is being run. And for some of us who do not believe in the size of big government, this is why, because too much of people, one person, 10% doing almost similarly the same thing, and all of those kind of things, creating burden on government here. But the issue of this work permits, we saw a lot of things came out here. Sadly, when these things happen, we talk about it, and we really don't see the end result. It will just come out like a flame, just blown over the roof. And then by the time you go low, it's swept under the water. Because the same very people, they use financial violence. The case doesn't go nowhere. The judicial system is on their side because they speak the same language. They speak the same tone. Financial violence is being applied. Only the layman Liberian who doing a little blah, when he or she is arrested, then the law becomes active, then the law becomes forceful, then it's being implemented. Let's hear you.
Well, Mr. So, I got a complex view on this work permit thing, because I believe that work permit, somebody paying money for work permit, a foreigner paying money for work permit for his person to come and work for him, I think it is at a level of discretion due to the workforce disparity. Because take, for example, why would I want to pay the government for work permit for bringing a foreigner to work for me when I can just employ a Liberian with all paying for work permit for him? What? So if the foreigner is bringing his own employee from his country to pay work permit for him to work for him, it means that he have not found, or he cannot find, a person to do the job in Liberia that he knows that his brother from his country will do. I think it's more of like the idea of profit making from a business perspective, because a businessman will not want to lose. So why will a businessman want to go pay for work permit for a Liberian? I mean, pay for work permit for a foreigner if a Liberian person can do the job and he can save that money and make sure to channel that money in the business. But the problem is, unfortunately, most of the Liberians cannot do the job. And that have been tested, that have been tried. You see, it's not really about hiring. You can't just go and hire people because the job, this kind of job supposed to be done by Liberian. It is in our law. I got it. It is in our law already that there are certain jobs that if Liberians can do it, you must not you can't pay, you don't need to pay work permit. Those jobs supposed to be granted to Liberian. But the thing here is, how many Liberians are applying for those jobs? How many Liberians even want those jobs? So if the man cannot get the adequate workforce that he needs to improve a business, he should be running all over the place looking for Liberian to go apply for the job. He's not going to do that. He will look for the reputable person that he can trust, because that is his business, that what he's going to use to generate money to survive. The man paying, if the man is extraditing, what I mean? If the man is extraditing people from a foreign country to come and work, he pays more money to bring that person to your country to work than if he's paying a Liberian. So I think this is on the basis of discretion. If you want to change that narrative, Liberians need to take hold of their own economy. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think it's a sort of convoluted one. It's not a bad thing, but the system is being abused. That's what makes it bad. Because, and you're quite correct, because there are some jobs. Even good evening, good to have you. Thank you for sharing. It's better late than never. My man Paul, we say, is innovating. Work permits is not a good thing, because there are so many ways government functions in terms of bringing into boosting its revenue to make its revenue to be very healthy. And the expertise of those people, as to come in, there are certain things, like you correctly said, you might not have the trained folks who or may do those jobs. And we don't want to be an isolated nation. Everywhere there are people there. And the only thing is, once you're there, do not work illegally. You have to obtain a permit to work. And it's not free. They pay money. That money goes where? It goes to government revenue. And that money is being circulated to either pay people to bring in logistics, to do different things. So if you look at thousands of people, depending on their standard, their profession, whatever the pays, you know exactly how much going into government revenues. But the problem is, if Alfonso is the Minister of Labor now, who is complete in charge of a work permit, and money that coming, you're going into Alfonso pocket and family household or whatever it is, then that's where the problem is. So it's not necessarily, it's how the system is being regulated. Before I go to Moses, this is why the white people see it, because of the corruption, because of the dishonesty, people quick to get Holy Ghost finger that can just grab anything and go with it, and without, being, even though they're not anointed. That's what they do nowadays. They keep distance from, but they are the Western world has created a system where they put a kind of little gap with men, physical touch of men, with people taking money. Why you think they put do this chronic car business? There are some places now. You go there, they say, oh, no, we're not taking cash, because they try to avoid those things. So that way, as soon as you sweep it, it goes to where it's supposed to go. You see the toll booth and all now, people having toll booth and all now. This time at the camera, they just take it and go. So I'm not sure whether we have that capacity to create a sort of technology, advanced technology, when we don't even have good fitting electricity. So then it's a challenge. Where permit is not bad, it brings in money, it's not for nothing, but the only thing, the system is being abused. Moses.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to make some interjection.
Well, can you
hold on one second.
Marcel wanted to do a follow-up. Marcel wanted to do a follow-up, but let that
but what I need to know here is
let Mr. Sigbo come in.
Yeah, no, hold on. What you guys need to know is not the liberal conducting. So your immunity here is at a minimum level. So you understand that sometimes yes, I mean all fingers not equal. Sometimes you will proportionally have outside, but this is not a liberal. It's not a liberal program here tonight. So I just want you guys to know that. But let me go to Moses. Moses, are you there?
He's not ready. He frozen.
Yeah. He brought plane from the plane not even.
Moses frozen. Whole picture frozen right now.
He went to talk about the police tonight, so they harmonizing his internet.
Moses, are you there?
Moses?
Yes, okay. Yeah, tell her what you say you wanted to point out before I go to Dr. Moore.
Mr. So, it's not just about how it is on our part on how the ministry conduct themselves when it comes to receiving the money. But my point of contention is with the business community. The international business community have already tested the job market in Liberia, not the work market, the workforce. They already know how Liberians can work. They know already, they have done this is the reason why they feel much comfortable bringing in their own people for certain jobs, because they are aware that if you employ a Liberian in our place, their job will not get done and many things will get missing. And we know that.
Oh my.
We know exactly that. So as a result, it don't make sense if I've been a businessman to knowing very well that if I employ a Liberian, I will spend lesser than to bring my fellow or Lebanese or to bring an Indian person from overseas to come work with me. Why do you think I will go pay government to get a permit or work permit for a foreigner to work for me when I can pay like we see today? Why is China great? Why is American companies leaving for America to go to China? Because in China, the workforce there is cheaper. You see, the people there know how to do the job and the workforce is cheaper. So if a businessman move into your country and paying for work permit to ship, a worker, that means that the businessmen do not trust your workforce you got on the ground.
Okay.
And we need to work on that.
All right. Let's get us moving quickly. We got to work within our time frame. Moses, let's hear you and Dr. Moore.
Well, let me just say this. I had the privilege of sitting in a gathering when they were talking about the first time work permits started to be issued. And that it was not too far, but not too long ago during the Ellen's administration, because they saw the influx, because the lack of training of our people saw the influx of a lot of other foreigners coming in. Everybody that brought business brought their own people. And I can tell you, the first labor minister started it and started to challenge these people based on the job, and they went on the road, they went on the street. That was the time Samuel Kofi Woods was appointed Minister of Labor under Ellen's administration. Later, Tewan Gonglo went there and took over after Kofi was sent to Public Works. And I can tell you, and this is factual, that under Tewan Gonglo, they were able to raise quite a bit of revenue based on the fact that these foreign business owners were saying they didn't find qualified people in Liberia to do the job. When there were qualified people to do, some of the store people, they only needed people to unload the truck and do those things. And they were bringing their own people because their unemployment in their country was worse than Liberia, knowing that Liberia were coming from a civil war. And what happened is that they brought family members, cousins, and everybody. And that's when the labor ministry decided to target them. It's not because we don't have competency. We have people who will steal their properties, because that's not the statistics that were gathered. The statistics said that they were bringing their own family people to work. And that's why they went after them. And that's when Milo talked about the $3,000, it went from 1,000 to 3,000. And it said we need these people to acquire the document, and you need to pay that money. It became a revenue piece for the country as well. So the figure, the more they charge them, they will stop bringing their family members. But I don't think that worked. So now there has to be a different strategy that come up, raise that money to 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 before you can bring somebody. Because we know we got people in Liberia who qualify to do those jobs in the stores with those businesses. And for them to just ignore and brought their own people, they won't go, as I stated, Kofi Wu started and Tawar Gongo ended it. And within a year, those people were able to raise over, substantial amount of money that went into Liberian revenue. So I think the strategies here is to challenge them and start getting, and like, what's his name? Like the doctor said, those people need to go. We got qualified people.
Oh, now you agree with Dr. Mali that they need to go.
They need to go. So raise the price to 10,000 as long as they're there. Let it hurt their pockets.
Let me
That would
hold
be my
you.
recommendation. Keep hurting their pockets. Every year, put it up by another 5,000.
Let me hold you there. Dr. Mali, we have won the case. I don't care you carry above the roof. That's not it. How the regulations, whether the system will make it worse, whether they will maintain the system. That's it. But Dr. Mali, you heard he has surrendered completely.
No, I was just giving you facts that I knew.
I know.
That's the first time I spoke on this.
Yeah, you always. But I say you agree with, at least this time around, you're not against. You didn't frown on what. Terry, did you agree with Dr. Mali as well?
No,
No,
I
do agree with Dr. Mali. I do agree with the two of them. With
Well,
Dr. Mali and Mr.
It's not agreeing with us, it's the fact.
No, it's not a fact. You didn't give me no facts. You gave me perceptibility.
I give you names.
But names is not facts.
Go research their term of office at the Ministry of Labor. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understood you didn't really explain the facts. The facts, you didn't give the facts. You just explain, the perception of what's surrounding the whole scenario.
That's not
you didn't point out data.
Reverend, I told you that these people were bringing their people and they were family members in India. The people need jobs.
Yeah, but that's not facts.
Listen, arbitrarily, they were just bringing those people and say that's an opportunity. Let's go in this country.
All right. Let me go to Dr. Mali. This is what I like. It's when I say black market can't be the hand behind the head. Now he holding mostly for data, but when we're talking about million joy here, when we talk about data,
70,000 job. But we get the data. You don't say that. We get the data. You say some messy.
Where you finding? Where you
finding? Coming from right across the place and driving taxi all over the place.
Check if it's a secret plane to the top part. That plane.
Yes. I don't know which planet some of our panelists actually living on.
Terry, which planet Terry from? This is someone. Well,
it is very fundamental. It is very disappointing to insinuate that we don't have qualified people. And like we train rare meat in the hands of foreigners. And secondly, if we sit there, I'm beginning to get a feeling from the men of God that we are still doing business as usual and running a banana republic. And a banana republic is a republic where people just do anything they want. Are you telling me if I bring my store, I will just go get up and go tell the minister, I bring it so you dictating to me? Or are you going to channel the God through me? And I make sure you bring a person? Is that the kind of system we're running? It's not about corruption. Let's put the unemployment into perspective. It's a serious problem. It has a political implication. Okay? Even on voting, that implication is there. The revenue thing, this should not be one of the places that will generate revenue from. Our people need jobs. There are qualified Liberians down there. So if we're making a statement that the facts are there, Liberians are not qualified, then I will have to challenge anybody to produce those facts.
Yep.
Liberians are qualified. I have never read in any of our tablets in Liberia or the newspaper that they publish certain job. What is happening now is it is the Banana Republic thing going on. I bring my store when I'm ready. I send for whosoever to work with me. I go pay $1,000 and they put it, and that's supposed to be so. We have a government. The government is on the ground. Channel all your job through the labor ministry and pay your money there. If that is the argument, how can you allow a Lebanese bring a store? He bring his uncle, he bring his son, he bring his grandfather. They all occupying in our place there, and our people going hungry. Then they all down there getting paid, and our people going hungry. Now one of them working in our store. Are you telling me? Are you kidding? So what I'm saying here tonight, there are qualified Liberians in our place there. If you brought your store in Liberia and you want for foreigner to work with you, channel it through the ministry. The ministry will advertise it. We're not going to the man you think you're going to. Why is a criminal you bring it to come in our country to come undermine our system? So the ministry will do their own assessment and bring that person. But that will only happen when we shall have made an advertisement out there for qualified Liberians. As a matter of fact, I attended school in Ghana. When I graduated, I was employed by UNHCR. We are about 4. When we left the University of Ghana, they employ us. What happened? The Ghanaian Labor Ministry came in our place there. You know what the Ghanaian minister said? In a meeting, in my presence, the men were reading their immigration law to us. We will only employ foreigners when there are no qualified Ghanaians. That's patriotism, right? And we were told to leave. We had to leave that job and go back to the refugee camp. All right. So why should you compromise sympathy? Why should you compromise your system just to please foreigner when we get qualified Liberian to do work in Liberia? Why? This is business as usual. It continues to move on. The unemployment is high. But shut that thing down. Put the advertisement out there. Create a merit system. Liberians are there. They are qualified. They will do this job until it's proven that Liberians are thieves or they are unethical, and it is proving and it's reported in the newspaper. Then we can take it from there and men of God. But I don't think we are doing a big disservice to our society to just let foreigners have their will. Like the man will just bring one shop. He just go bring all his people there and put in there while our people are roaming the street, no job. The youth unemployment is high. All right. So we need to shut it down. It should be shut down. That income there is not doing nothing for us. That's peanut. We don't need it. Our people there to get job. Give the job to our people. And secondly, when you bring firm in Liberia, don't go bring your brother and sisters and uncle and grandchildren to put them there. No, you alone bring our friend, you alone will be there. When your accountant down to the rest of the people there, we should be Liberian. And any attempt, you put 4 other people there and we know that from your country, you will be apprehended and face the full weight of the law in our country there. This is how Liberia is supposed to be going.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Mali, Dr. Mali.
Let me see here.
Do you support the argument to have minimum wage in Liberia?
Oh, Elona.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. Dr. Toto, I think
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Segway.
Let me change this number here. Why did I post 636? It will be 363. Dr. Toto, sorry.
Dr. Toto, look at you on my case tonight.
No, everybody cases.
Dr. Mali.
Dr. Toto is 363. Sorry, 363.
I remember a story with the Chinese people where they brought a lot of their people and they were living in a place and they raided the place. I think it was like 6-7 years ago.
Okay. So yeah, let me put it here. I think Dr. Toto.
I'm not even calling you off. B Mountain. I got 2 of my friends that work there. All right. They have about 800 foreigners in a sending that to that place they're getting for nothing money. And our children are roaming the street all over the place. What kind of system we're running? 800. If the government had just taken my advice, by this time we get 70,000, 80,000 people employed in our country there. And you, the white man, you don't want to pack your bag and we'll show you the road to the airport.
It has to be in the contract with all of these people that are signing searching the contract.
Our people can.
Mr. So, can I say this? Can I give a follow-up on this?
All right.
All right.
We are being very unpatriotic.
Even the Liberal Progressive is in Liberia.
Yes, we are being very unpatriotic to our people, men of God. We're very being unpatriotic to our people. We need to be fighting for them. We're not fighting for them. We are fighting for foreigners.
No,
men of God, are you fighting for foreigners?
Give me a chance.
Okay, let's do one at a time.
Speak too.
Let's do it one at a time.
Because
Terry, let me just let Dr.
Sure.
Let's see what you get to say. I would say thank you to our man Mike Dowie, watching, monitoring from Colahone District. That is Lofa County. I work at this time. I would say thank you so much. Even the Liberal Progressive is in. Oh, you missing tonight? Now, what is there? No Bible for a child. You will be on tomorrow from Liberia. So let's hear Dr. Toto. Dr. Toto, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, CEO. Let me greet the gentleman. This studio.
Yeah.
You know, at this point in Dr. Mali, he saw to them like a Donald Trump speaking.
Oh God.
And also he sound like African.
You sound like a South African?
Attacking African.
Yeah.
You know, the hard Dr. Mali sound, you know, when you talk about job employment in Liberia, the statistics is there when it comes to the workforce in Liberia. We don't have that qualified Liberia in most of the area. Even Dr. Mali, even though I don't know what category of job he's talking about, even in our natural level, we have similar issue of people that in higher education that occupy most of the natural program. And we heard about foreigners. We don't have qualified Liberian that in that field that can head the program. We have foreigners that head the program for us. So even in Liberia or full America, an open shop in Liberia and employ people, why they have to be done for Liberia? Occupying the show. Those are the messages the South Africans were using. Those are attacking other Africans. Say the people taking that job. Where are those people just making business, selling business? The playing field is up. Liberia have an open economic system. You go and make a business, you be successful in Liberia, it's okay. But we shouldn't make it a way that the people come in and taking the job from us. Even look at Guinea in Reda in Liberia. Don't do that in terms of construction in Liberia, Reda. Who are they using most of the time? That Guinea people are using the Guinea guys. Carry on construction work. Even graduated down to talk about Burkina Faso, carry agricultural work in that part of Liberia. Why are people using them? Because they know the white food that they put to produce. So let's be careful the language that we use to express the type of statement in the type of time era. Let it go back. No. I disagree with that, Dr. Mali. Seriously. And then also too, when it comes to our security analyst, Moses, he entered Georgia administration. We saw police officers were disrobed because they were going on robbery. That's the reason why somebody was disarmed. Somebody they were caught giving their ammunition to the guys who carry out robbery activity. So, and they're supposed to protect the state. So the officer that you try to protect on that, or they show to that. It's a serious ethical issue. Ethical issue.
Let me finish.
Yeah, but he shouldn't make that assumption.
And that officer made discipline, that you come on the show, you say, you got the officer and not been paid correctly.
No.
You got making money. No, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Alain,
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Toto. Let's go to Terry. He was in flight when I told him to hold on because Dr. Toto and Dr. will make a message.
Some question.
You
Yeah.
want? Let's hear
Oh,
Terry. Let's hear.
Dr.
Dr. Toto, you can stay on if you
But
want.
here is the thing. These assessments have already been done. Liberians fall below the belt. All right. When it comes to trust and reliability, we struggle in our area to get people that you trust. If a business person brings their business to Liberia, they are looking for the opportunity to make profit. It is not your business they bring in. It is their money they bring in. It is their investment. They're looking for the opportunity to make profit. So the first thing they look for is the trust and the reliability in the working area. Because that's the first thing a businessman look for. He's not going to say, oh, because you are Liberian, so I am compelled to employ you. He takes his business and go back, and your country remains suffering, stagnated. All of these big entities you're talking about, these in industry, how do you think they've been thriving? They've been thriving because of the business plan and business strategy. None of those investments came to Liberia just out of the blue. They came and they had done assessment before they brought the businesses to establish. So when they bring the people, another thing thing that most of these businesses, those investors suffer with Liberian workers is skill gap. All right, foreign businesses struggle with the skill gap, the specificity of the role that they want for those Liberians to play. They don't have the capacity to play that role. Another thing is operational control. You understand? Lastly, cultural alignment is very important. Why? For frequency in communication. The man can communicate well with you. You speaking cool. While the man speaking
Chinese.
Arab, the man is speaking Chinese. How will your two correlate to
Are
for
you
him to get for you to get a job done perfectly enough for him to be able to derive a profit margin?
so why he need to come
So
there?
so because this you need the money,
Oh, come on now.
you need the investment, and the man need the opportunity.
And that's what
So you go on the work, you the one go to lobby. You lobby for investor. When
no.
you lobby for investor to come to your country, you got to take all. You talk about Ghana. Ghana have the work capacity, the workforce capacity, train people to meet up. And here is the deficit. Here, last time, Mr. So, here is the reason why Liberians are like that. It is not just because we fail to do it. It is because of the war. How many vocation programs have
They
our
won't
society
worry.
gone through? Yeah, since the war, Mr. So, how many vocation programs, how many trade schools, how many training programs that have been given to our youth over the past 20 years to
Okay,
absorb them into the workforce?
now you open a can when we say the 100 schools you want to build, any country that develops after war is you shift your gear to human capacity building. Those are vocational institutions. But we're not doing it. You're building the schools that we got now, they're all breaking down, and you say I want to build more schools. Now, when these young people, who were not properly rehabilitated, who were not properly integrated, when you build them, when you give them capacity in skill, it becomes lessened on government and even on society. There will be no liability.
Agree. That what we talk about. But yes, look at the other thing. In the informal sector, a common example, the motorcyclists, many of them are not even trained to ride. So as a result, plenty of them used to die, they used to kill themselves. Because they're not even trained. When they tell them to wear helmet, just to wear helmet for their own safety, they able to wear helmet. They ride with a slipper on a day and riding. So what I'm trying to tell you is that our society need training. They need information. They need programs. You don't have that. So as a result, foreigners will struggle to have you as a workforce for the businesses to make profit. The man come and make profit. He come and play. You think he come and invest millions of dollars so the money can go down the drain? because he's not able to find the reputable workforce to help him generate that profit margin. So this is where I disagree with you guys tonight. I may be wrong. I may be from Pluto. Somebody say, yeah, they other panel from Pluto. Yeah, certainly. But from what I'm from what I'm reading and what I analyze, I want to believe that this is the reason why a foreigner will choose to invest more in breaking in the workforce, human capital, than to invest in the workforce on the ground where he will pay lesser because of the challenges. Thank you.
All right.
CEO, 10 minutes.
Let's go to Dr. Malley before we start wrapping up.
You are coming next.
Yes. Totally 100% disagree with the men of God.
I thought you said I'm coming next.
Let's just let you wrap on now. We're still
Yes.
start wrapping. You still come.
The problem here is that
I understand you put him up there because you're trying to be like the liberal.
Yeah, the problem here is this.
Not
you know why we have the mass influx of aliens in Liberia? They are chasing the US dollar. They're not going there because they want to make fun. So if you bring your business, we say, go, you cry, you beg us. That the US dollar they're chasing. They're not there to make your country to look good. They're not there to carry on anything. All right? They're chasing the US dollar. And whatsoever the US dollar is, it's a lucrative place. Why is it that you don't see the Lebanese turning Ghana into a playground? Because the policy said that it's very tight. It's very coming now, it's very tight. And besides that, the US dollar is not a playground there. So all of them move now to Liberia because according to Dr. Toto, it's an open system. We need a closed system right now. And you will not go because you need a Liberian dollar. I mean, you need a US dollar is there. And you can see it. And they play with it. And that is even creating hardship for our people in Liberia. So, I mean, when we talk about the issue of culture, when you come, you will have to learn our language to operate in a system. We're not going to follow your language. If you go to China to open shop there, in the first place, you got to go learn Chinese. What are you talking about? Or else, you will have to leave. The problem now is you need a dollar, and the dollar is in Liberia. That's why the mass inflow of foreigners are going there with all kinds of business. Now we're running a banana republic. The whole thing is losing up. We cannot do that. We got to tighten the system. You will
Thank you so much.
Employ the people the list will give you. Will not allow you to go bring your people. Then that means we're not running a country.
Okay, we got to leave it there. Let me go to Moses quickly before we do our wrap up. Moses, let's hear you quickly.
With this, I totally agree with Dr. Malley because I was privileged again to be in the presence of a Ugandan, the lady who headed the Internal Affairs Department right after the war. And they were facing the same thing. After the war, people fluctuate to these countries with their own people just to go and take advantage of the process of brain drain. And that's specifically what's going on with Liberia. And they're saying that brain drain because they're recovering from civil war and they come with all of these contracts. And until they drove the Chinese, the influx of Chinese, and this is factual, you can research it. And until they drove them out of Uganda, Uganda would not have developed to where it is today. And so we're facing the same thing. We're not going to drive them totally out of Liberia, but we need to set standards for our own people. Now, I asked Dr. Malley earlier, if we're going to do that, then we also need to create what you call the thing, minimum wage system. We got people in Liberia falling and people living on $1 a day. Liberia is the only nation right now that's using both US dollars and Liberia's own currency. Where do you find that in any country? In Ghana, they use their cities. If you bring your American dollar, you got to change everything to cities before you can spend the money.
Oh, yeah.
Why are we accommodating that? Even with the government telling you, oh, we'll take this in US, we'll take that in LD. It hushed the economy. We need to decide what we're going to do. And these foreigners, they come in, why we got to succumb to their language?
Okay, guys.
The language barrier is not supposed to be a way for them to say they're bringing their own people because they don't understand the language.
We got to leave it there. We got to go to our wrap-up statement, and I'm just going to add something here, and then you can wrap up precisely a mini. The tweet of the ruling party chairman, Dr. Luther, who said the demolition exercise now is concerning. We're going to go to Dr. Toto. I'm going to do 1 minute each before we go. Dr. Toto, what's your closing? I want to say it. Welcome our man to Roland Harris Wajin, is PR correspondent in the southeastern side of Zulu Whiskey. Roland, good evening, good morning. Thank you for all what you do. Dr. Toto, let's hear you.
Yeah, I also give just to close to see white folks. The question we should ask ourselves as Nigerians, why they no foreigner will pay more money to bring people in Liberia to hire them? They will have the white force in Liberia. They will have the qualified people to do the job. Why would they pay more money to get somebody like the other white? I think that's a question that I would never deal with Dr. Mali and Moses.
That's a simple answer.
Yeah, that currency thing will not talk to until we get tired. They all along we can't just say the death they won't do that. I mean, I've never seen a country like that before.
No.
All these big economic forum, this and that. Why government can't take decision? Thank you so much. Terry, let's hear you. What are we living with?
Yeah, Mr. So this is the reason why Liberia is suffering, because we have our priorities completely wrong. You know, if you don't have the workforce capacity, Dr. Toto asks a very serious question. That's the same position I took tonight. Why is very foolish for a Lebanese man to pay another Lebanese man $1,000 for a job and then pay a Liberian man $150 or $200? It sounds very silly. So you think that the Lebanese man is just paying out Lebanese man $1,500 because he's foolish? And that the thing is that Dr. Mali say the people coming for US dollar. How much business are you getting in Liberia? That people coming for US dollar? How much?
Are you kidding me?
But how much? Your economy is not even up to Guinea. This country right near you, your economy not even up to Guineans. Wow. They got you. I think Guinea makes more money than you when it comes to budget, when it comes to GDP. If I'm not mistaken, I got to check it out. But what I'm saying is that you don't even have that much traction to your economy as compared to other countries around you. So do not boast and say, oh, the concessions agreement, when you sign those concession agreement after the war, you got a high risk economy because your economy is, anything can happen. Any business that come into your economy, take into consideration right now, that war could break or anytime, because every 2-3 days, you protesting. Somebody cursing somebody, people running behind people, tear gas everywhere. So this is why when these businesses go in, they carry their own people that they can trust because they already know that you have a traumatized society. This is no offense to a Liberian who want to work. There are Liberians in the society that can do good job and all of that. But the truth of the matter is, if I take my business to Liberia, let Liberians in America hear themselves, they cry for the people. They gave people money, their own relatives, their own people to build for them, to do work for them. See how many of them are frustrated in Liberia. I was watching one other video the other day, a guy doing the Jovia later. During Jovia time, they took money from Liberians in the diaspora, people, pension money, what they work for, invested in those people. They told them that they built houses for them. When they went back home to no avail. Then you sit down here, you tell me, say, those are the kind of people, even me, if I'm going to Liberia to get to invest, I myself will have to be very careful who I invest my money into, because it is based upon the profit margin I'm going to make. That is what I'm going to invest and something. So I beg to differ with you guys tonight. Thank you.
All right. Moses, let's hear you.
Well, the first thing, let me get back to the police situation before I come to this other one. The police situation, I hope that people would not misunderstand what I was driving at. What I was driving at, I was looking more at the policies and the hierarchy of the police department and how things are being conducted. And people will see the prevalence of crime before they participate in it. What are the things that deter crimes? If it's not there, and the same thing in the workforce. The police officer, we know there's ethics, but we know that we don't practice ethics anywhere in Liberia, really. So when people say there's ethical thing and people need to be punished, the punishment cannot come without the training and the knowledge of what is ethical and what is not ethical. Okay? So if you don't give the person training, you don't expect them to apply in their job. And that's where I was coming from with this whole thing with the police officer that got fired, because it's a career institution. That's why in the U.S., most of those entities are now run by chief administrators and not just practitioners or people who were trained to be police officers. Because when you go to the police training, they're teaching you how to go out and protect the community, not how to write.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that has to do with the job, the job market, if I know the risk is high, why am I coming there? There has to be some benefit that's driving me there. So I'm going to pay that money to make sure that my benefit is realized. And I think we got it wrong when we start to undermine our own people and say we don't have the workforce for most of these companies that are there. I mean, there were people who brought their people who were not paying a penny. And like I said, the facts are there. Samuel Kofi Woods at the Ministry of Labor started the process. Tewan Gonglo went in to replace it and continue the process. I know we don't want that to be a revenue source, but at least they were being challenged. And I think there has to be a system for these people who come in. And they need to have the paper, the immigration paper. That's what they do in America. You can't open any business. I'll tell you a short story real quick. Kalondo. The Kalondo mayor guy in Liberia came here and started in Rhode Island airline service, travel agency. And when he ran into some of us, and he just opened the place without no regulations. When we explained the regulations to him, he shut it down and left because he couldn't meet the regulations. And he knew it was going to be a waste of money. So there has to be regulations on you coming, who you can employ, how you can look for workforce, how you can publicize the job market. And you see it in this country. That's why in America, you got to push your job. They got something, and they're talking about DNI and all that stuff like that. Listen, you got to push your job, and you got to show evidence to the Ministry of Labor of how, when you posted the job, how long you posted the job, who you interview for the job, and make sure you employ the qualified people. There's a process in place for that to be done.
Thank you. Let's go to Dr. Malik. We got to work within the time frame. This is how things are being misplaced, mispositioned, and that's why Dr. Malik and myself here try to put it into contact the pastor, the gentleman from Delaware, that is still here. These are the liberal friends, and they try to want to rewrite history here every now and then. Dr. Malik.
Yeah,
they agree with us. They agree with you. Only terrorists still holding on to the scripture.
Well, it is very sad tonight that we're still holding on to the concept of business as usual. If Dr. Toto and the men of God are icing why the foreigner coming to Liberia, the people have studied your system. First is weak.
Yes.
That's the first thing. All right? You're running the prototype Banana Republic Society. I can leave from here and take the back door and go sit down somewhere and make ton of profit. The people make quadruple profit in our country. That's why they pay the money. You think they're supposed to pay? They're not to pay. Why the Lebanese can never leave from our country there? All right? The people go to live kingship life in our place there, while our people, because we don't have good system put in place for our people to also be lifted, they get rich, they pass through your airport with more than thousands of dollars. In Ghana, you don't pass through that airport with more than $500. The immigration will send you back. In the first place, when you get stored in Ghana, the accountant there got to be a Ghanaian to know how much how much you're making and how much Ghanaian going to benefit from. So you just got a weak system. So the foreigners are taking advantage. And they are also taking advantage because of the US dollar. That is no two-way about it.
Absolutely.
It's no two-way about it. And they are making use of the US dollar. They are making use of it. And lastly, we have just become unpatriotic to our own system. Liberia is corrupt. And so they're taking advantage of it. Foreigners come to that place there with their own people because I can get bribe and bring my own people, get the Ministry of Labor. That's the kind of system we're running. If that's the kind of system we're trying to keep supporting, then we're talking about unemployment. The unemployment have political implication. So Dr. Toto said we have an open system. I agree with you, Dr. Toto. But it's about time that we have a closed system now. Our people come first. Liberia first. According to Donald Trump, US first. Those things got to be put in place. You see? Other than that, they're going to be problem to problem in our country. No. If you go by what I'm saying, no foreigner will leave our country there because they're making the US dollar. They will not leave. They will be forced to comply. And by this time, you would have created more than 30,000 jobs in our country there. Publish the job. Lastly, I challenge you, Dr. Toto, to give me the sources that say Liberians are corrupt, they are unqualified, and that why they're not getting the job, and the people got to go check around all over the world to bring people in to do the job. They are dishonest, and so many people have been sacked because they are dishonest, and those who cannot even get a job because they don't have the skills. I really want to see those data. I really want to see those statistics in the near future. Thank you.
Not in the near future. I will send it now.
I'm a patriot.
I will send it to you now.
Patriot Liberian. It's about time. It's about time that we flip the sheet. It's about time that we stand for our people. They are qualified Liberians in our country there. There are qualified Liberians in our country there. In all countries, there will always be two pocket of people. Maybe they are dishonest, but we cannot say categorically because scale problem. We're not getting bombed down there. No, we're not getting shit.
Okay, well, let's leave it there.
We're not even bringing a car to bring technicians and high caliber of skilled people. We're not doing these things. Store-bought job, you go bring someone, you pay $1,000 because you're gonna make double profit. Then why are you doing that? And so that reason why the foreigner, they almost will be more than the citizen in our country there. And we need
Dr. Mali, by popular demand and from the reactions of our viewers, our audience, Nilson Myers, I totally agree with Dr. Mali. You see, and this is why this network, we will not allow these liberals to come here and try to push the wheel.
Dr. Mali, I'm sending you.
And see, you are not even.
I'm sending you.
The pastoral era. The men of God have forgotten that the foreign pastors are taking over you people era now. And you're sitting down there. They are taking over, and they are benefiting now.
But let it benefit.
And now in Nigeria, even right here in the USA.
That one made America great.
No, even in the USA, even in the USA, Dr. Mali, we don't want them. People are going for their salvation in Nigeria. You call somebody and say, "Oh, we're not allowed to Nigeria." The poor day. I mean, I don't get it.
I know.
You can't communicate with God.
That's very true.
It's hard.
And they send money to them.
We pray for you. Who you pray for? Every day we pray for them.
And they going to the men of God in Minnesota to pray for me. I want for a Nigerian to pray for me. And he getting all the money, all the benefit, all the jewelry, and he go back to Nigeria. You see what's happening in the system right now?
Why do you think the people going to Nigeria to pray? Why you think they gravitate to Nigerians more?
Because you made yourself weak. And secondly,
no, it's not because of that.
Let me change now. You ask me a question. You made yourself weak.
guys.
not
I
correct.
got a
And you're not preaching the prosperity message good. And so I got outside.
And most of y'all are
So, Dr. Mane, are you saying that you got a Nigerian prophet in your life right now? Is that what you're insinuating?
No. I'm standing
we
against
see
these things. I'm standing against these things.
I mean, people.
No, but you see, you're trying to bring in something whole different from the discussion.
But I'm telling you, I said they're taking over
Yeah. We don't want to relegate this conversation. Now,
Man
because what Dr. Male is saying,
people taking over that area in Liberia, they're taking
what
over.
Dr. Male says is not true.
Dr. Male,
It's not true.
what Dr. Male is saying, the
largest church in Liberia is built by a Liberian. The largest church in Liberia is built by Pastor Domba.
What church?
The largest church.
What church?
And what her connection? Her connection with Nigeria.
Listen now.
If you can have your leader, they can work for
they bring Nigerian pastor to the church and you say,
what you call Nigerian pastor?
All right, guys.
He's not Nigerian.
Let's leave it there.
No,
where you got your orientation from? You are in Nigeria.
Gentlemen, let's leave it there. If we can have our country president,
you need to go do your homework. When you want to talk about pastor,
hold on.
Jimmy Swagger, and I see they happy with Jimmy Swagger when he came to Labrador.
That's different thing you're talking, man. A different thing.
Everybody follow you in the street. They start paying tent.
That your plane you use to come to Labrador.
Jimmy Swagger came there. Everybody follow him.
I want to thank you guys so much.
You're good, man.
We'll continue to expose them. Don't go yet. We say talking. You talk. I listen to you. Then you want to your good name, man. No,
sorry. I'll tell you what. I
mean, the loopholes is just everywhere, from the social, from the government, from the religious side. I mean, nobody want to invest into a place where they're not getting anything. The rationale of a whole business thing here is to make profit. If I'm not making profit anywhere, I'm not going to go do business there. Why you see the big churches and things that? But anyway, I don't blame them. We have our leaders that can go for anointing in Nigeria. Then of course that validates as if they're the only one God can understand.
Those Nigerian guys are scammers. They are scammers. Most of them are scammers.
Your congregation.
They got genuine pastors in Nigeria, genuine prophet, great men of God. But most of the other people that you can see Liberian following, they are scammers.
You call the other one here, on it now. Why are they playing in Nigeria?
One of them is related to me in Minnesota.
But guys, thank you so much. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be on.
They reach out to you, Mr. Moses?
No, yeah, one of them is my relative. And he was very receptive. And you say he
hello, guys. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we got to go. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm still following the story. The teacher, the Clarence teacher with a goodwill, she has agreed to appear on LPR tomorrow. Ms. Lucia Goffa will be my guest tomorrow. And we're getting more information. We are, like you were saying, Terry, that school, we now get to know that it was built in 2009. Wow. It's a public. And you'll be surprised. Wow. It's in Harper. That building what you saw.
Wow.
It's in Harper. So I think
that is sad.
The challenge now too is we, the talking heads, the media, to stop this entertainment and get to these serious issues that are confronting our society. If you look at that kind of school there, you look at that school looking at, if you see the growth of that, what do you expect the generation to look like? But overall, what is happening in Liberia, we are very unpatriotic. Liberians are so corrupt, so dishonest. And not just only in Liberia, it's right here. See all of these organizations here. The confusion is
coming by.
Yeah, it's so hateful. And that's why the people see that they don't allow them to put money in that. Only machine good for them. Let machine take the money. Let them just do the paperwork. Let them just show the machine and let the people sweat. Because the people are so corrupt. Our officials are dishonest. They are outsourced.
Now they're the politicians.
They sell themselves to these people.
Now,
Even the Lebanese people, the store-bought, they see how those Lebanese people can treat them. What kind of people, our people, the Liverpool, they can stand for these people? They don't stand for their people because they go there, they get a little dollar and cent, and that's all about it. And they come, they talk tabata, they act like they are for the people, but I don't blame them. It's we the same old people. We validate what they do. They come and lie. No one is being held accountable. And that's exactly why it is.
Mr. So that's
and that's why the media need to step in, but the media too is corrupt. The media is compromised. The media in the hands of politicians. You either with them or you either be with us or you against us. And when you're against them or when you say out, you are being seen as the enemy of the state. With that said, guys, somebody even were asking, is that Air Liberia? You came here, you say you're going to do fundraiser to buy that plane. We don't know who not pay, who not pay.
No,
after the hold on.
Nobody paying any money. No, it's anything.
Anything to them now, policeman. There's something will go to you now bring to evacuate the policeman.
No. The policeman did something. I'm talking about the standards set for police to have integrity. That was my argument.
You know,
if it's happy at the top, we cannot blame the police officer. And if I am now, anyway, stop all the stealing for the police.
No, you know something. I think he needs to go. He himself, he just too much. He sees himself as a supreme.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. That's exactly my point.
It's terrible.
Your point is
that's exactly my point.
He needs to go.
Make that
just a white guy needs to do something. I mean, the corruption.
But the man car is not bought by him. It's the GAC that bought the car.
Why would he even buy that? You are police chief. You can't be a police chief and see yourself that and you expect the people that you supervise. Who wanting them for them?
Come on now.
Who really trying to
so then you ride Jorape to go
No. Listen, we know that the director of the police, before he got there, when I one audit.
Jerry, thank you.
Jerry, call me. Let's talk about it.
Y'all go talk on the outside because two of y'all people. Yeah, bye. Okay, folks, that's how we're going to end here this evening. I want to thank you so much. If you are here, this is the first time. We say good to have you. John, good to have you. Let's see this guy here, Dewey, who say we're monitoring from Kola Home. Is that Kola Home? Dewey, yeah, Kola Home. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Send your comments, your tweets, and those of you following us, what we need to do, what we can improve on. But, people don't like to say the truth. And that's the problem in our country. When you say the truth, you either you want to be the white man, and you black man, you can't be white man. So you are being stereotyped and all of those sort of stuff. But the complication, like on our situation, is just so difficult. But we'll keep having this sort of conversation, no matter why it is. And so tomorrow, if you have the time, join me 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be speaking with this lady. She did an extraordinary intervention. A classroom teacher who saw the need of children. Let me see what I able to play this video here. That was profound. That's prompted me to reach her. I can see where is this video? I believe here. Is this one here?
In Maryland County, poverty continues to shape the learning experience of many public school students. Across rural communities, children attend classes without proper uniforms, shoes, or basic learning materials, conditions that education officials say affect attendance and performance of the kids.
When she passed here, some of the students did not have uniform to wear. And some of them did not have footwear.
On Thursday, one public school teacher took a personal step to respond. Lucio Gofa, a classroom teacher at the Harper Demonstration School, donated some school supplies to students of the Boyabli Elementary School located outside Harper Main City. The items include a pair of black shoes, copybooks, pencils, socks, and sets of uniforms. As a classroom teacher, Lucia says she sees how these things affect children's learning.
doing our little giveaway attempts at the Boy B public schools. Sometimes we visited the schools and we noticed that some students were not unified, and then when we interviewed the teachers and the principal, they said the parents they are not able to afford uniform. And then in that same light, the teachers too cannot ask the student out because of uniform. And we understand that they might feel a little bit.
What a good way to intervene. What a good way intervention there by that classroom teacher from Maryland County. She will be my guest tomorrow morning. How she got to this point, what prompted her decision, how long she been doing it. This school is in Harper. Look at that building. It's in Harper. And you have 103% in both branches of government, the lower and the upper, that's the House of Representatives and Senate. These are people who they pay, like somebody were tweeting, $100 some more $1,000 US dollars, not Liberian dollars, for what they call so-called whatever engagement. We got a name of that representative. But I know when you call them, they're not going to come, but we're still going to call them. In the 21st century, that somebody who just was passing by as a classroom and saw the need that children cannot learn under those sort of conditions and have to use their own limited resources, even if it was provided by somebody. But yet you pay people thousands of dollars. You're buying gas slave, you're doing this. You say you want a vibrant society, you want engineers, you want science students, but you can't even help to build the foundation to get to that point. And people, I mean, Monrovia is not a Republic of Liberia. And I wouldn't be surprised. There are other schools within Monrovia area like that, as if we do not even have, this is an old age thing. And every time these people come, they give excuses. What do they? Hey. And you also are responsible because you protect these people, you protect your own alligators. You come in their defense and that, oh yes, to the extent, even though you support them, but they're doing something wrong, you are unable to tell them. This is a problem we have in our country. So we are all become defenders of the bad. But tomorrow she's going to be joining me here. Early tomorrow morning, I'm going to be having a conversation with her. What next? Why that such an intervention? And we hope to do that. I'm going to be talking to our guy, Roland. Hopefully that you joining me here. We're going to be taking a look at the schools system, the health system, and all of that. You know, I don't even know whether that teacher then they take pay. Some of them just volunteering because they want to help their community. Is that how it's supposed to be like? No. So until our government can define and knows the priority, things to focus on, you don't have to do those little things that you think is now of essence. Focus on those things. When you do it, then you do something. But if you are government, you try to create chaos for yourself and people come and give a bunch of excuses, that's what we are. Join me tomorrow, Paulina. Good morning. Good to have you here. Well, folks, if this is the first time, we say we do appreciate your time. We didn't meet your expectations in terms of our talking point. Well, we are sorry, but we don't usually say it away. We say it the way it should be, but we always have this sort of mutual conversation that respect the views and opinions of all, including yourself. And you do have the right to disagree with our talking point. And that what makes you a Liberian. We are not more Liberian than you. Do not allow people to identify you. Do not allow people to tell you your destiny. Don't allow people to use you. Well, I tell them the way it goes. No radio host, no radio, be a self-control person that you can make informed decision by yourself. based on what you hear, what you know, what you see, and ask all of the questions. A politician cannot answer your questions and then we're going to water down something and they just come and tell you, say, trust me, do not trust them, do not believe them, because they can lie and they will continue to lie. They will tell you, knowing what I know now, they didn't know first, but they are gone and they have faced the orientations, they are being initiated by their people, and so they give all of these bunches of excuses. Until then, have a pleasant evening, and I'll be back here tomorrow morning with a special editions of The Examiner with a classroom teacher, Lucia Gofa from Maryland County, Republic of Liberia. Be my guest. Thank you. Bye-bye.